Hey there folks, this is Richard of DoomedMovieThon.com. I'm back with another episode of My Horror Shelfie. My Horror Shelfie is a series where I talk about every single horror movie on my horror movie shelves from A to Z, and you are absolutely forced to sit through every word that I say because I have an engaging personality and kissably fresh lips. Let's go pick some movies. Just kidding. Let's talk about the letter F. So last time I did half of the letter F. So instead of F, it was F. And now I'm going to get back to those and finish the letter F today, right now, on this video. Let's go pick a movies from 1 to 10, because I'm picking just the numbered movies today. No Fs. For the first letter F, speaking of perfect films, let's talk about Fright Night. Fright Night is a great vampire movie from the 1980s. It's underrated and no one's heard of it. Just kidding, everyone loves Fright Night. Recently rewatched this for the first time in like 20 years, and man, it was great. I showed this to Lietta because I thought she'd really enjoy it, and I do believe she did. Lietta, did you like Fright Night?
Yes.
Lietta says yes. The sequel to Fright Night is called Frightmare. Weirdly, it came out before Fright Night. I don't understand how that works. But this is directed by good old Pete Walker. Pete Walker has some very special films. He certainly has a way about him. I don't know why Pete Walker is so weird, but I'm glad he is, and this is one of them. It's a slasher, but it's a very offbeat slasher, and it just has a tone all of its own. I really enjoy it. Plus, I have the good old cardboard, flipper case things with the little plastic things. They were the perfect melding of plastic and paper, just like the Terminator. From Beyond, man, this is special stuff here. For many years, From Beyond was censored, and out of the blue, somebody found a can and returned it to the director, Stuart Gordon, and he was able to restore the gore scenes that had been missing for many, many years. Love From Beyond. It's so good. It's based on the works of H.R. Pufnstuf. For some reason, there's a copy of Dolls. Just the amazing Dolls horror movie is in here. Just tucked away. You never know what you're going to get in this movie collection. From Beyond the Grave, a lovely, anthology horror movie, and I've seen it, and I barely remember it, so it's probably time to watch it again. I know that Donald Pleasance and his daughter, Angela Pleasance, who I love very much, is in this, because she's creepy. How she manages to sometimes be creepier than her dad at his creepiest is pretty amazing. Now this is interesting. So in the case of From Beyond the Grave, there's a DVD of From Beyond the Grave, the same movie. So for some reason, I have the same movie stashed away in here. Not sure what that is about, although it's in Brad's handwriting. So hello, Brad. From Duck Till Goose, the Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez joint. I'm a big fan of From Dusk Till Dawn. This was one of the first budget Blu-rays I bought, and it looks great. I don't know how to look at a screen without judging how it looks. Forget content, I only care about pixels. I saw this in the theater when it was new, and I remember thinking, it just turns into a horror movie. Why can't it be more like Pulp Fiction, bro? And now, I don't care. I want the whole movie to be the horror movie now. Frommel, starring Johnny Depp. This is a wonderful movie with Heather Graham's finest accent work, but also it's a really, really solid movie. I know fans of the comic book are not too thrilled with this adaptation, but I love it, and I don't like the art style of the comic. That's just personal taste. Hopefully you're still watching after that weird opinion I have. Okay. This is fun stuff. Okay. This is a double feature from good old Vinegar Syndrome, and this is The Executioner Part 2, which is one of the stupidest action movies ever made. I believe there is no The Executioner Part 1. They released it as a sequel to, I think, coincide with The Exterminator Part 2 to confuse people and trick them into going to see it. That's just me. I don't know if that's true. But more importantly, I mean, don't get me wrong, Executioner Part 2 is hilariously terrible. But more hilariously terrible is Frozen Scream. The connection between the two of them is an actress named Renee Harmon. I believe she's a producer and a actress on both movies. And Frozen Scream is great. It is real stupid, really confusing. It's also a secret Halloween movie. There's a random Halloween party for about 3 minutes in the movie. So technically, this has Michael Myers because it has Halloween in it. Once again, hidden inside is, I did a double disc thing, and I stashed the cover for this one. There is a double feature called Death by Invitation and The Dungeon of Harrow, and these are both Vinegar Syndrome discs in here. And I like Death by Invitation. I haven't seen Dungeon of Harrow. I forgot what it was called after I said it a few seconds ago. Death by Invitation, very sleepy, very bad, in a good way. Try to stay awake. Oh, I put things out of order by accident, just a little bit. Frankenhooker. Gotta come back and get me some Frankenhooker. If you have not seen this yet, you need to see it. It is completely crazy. It's meant to be funny, it's meant to be wild, and they succeeded beyond all measure. There's a lot of like splatter stuff and over-the-top set pieces, but it's the performances from the leads that are completely deranged, and I love Frankenhooker. It's so good. Hidden Inside. That's a theme of this episode. Hidden Inside, there's a Blu-ray of Killer Clowns from Outer Space for some reason. I don't know why I associate Killer Clowns from Outer Space with Frankenhooker, but I do. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is also a labor of love made by somebody who really wanted to do something special. World building and like mechanics of how these space clowns do their thing is really well thought out and fun. So, Frankenhooker, everybody. The Funhouse, directed by Tobe Hooper, or as we call him on Hello, This is the Doom Show, Tuber. Good old Tobe Hooper was the guy who directed Poltergeist. Also, Funhouse is so good. It's really, really strange and grotesque and claustrophobic and just everything Tobe Hooper does well is in this movie. Plus, it's just bright and colorful and out of control. Shockingly enough, there's a movie hidden inside this case here for the Funhouse. It's Tobe Hooper's Invaders from Mars, his remake of the classic sci-fi movie. See, this makes sense. I should put Tobe Hooper in with Tobe Hooper, right? Right? But yeah, Invaders from Mars, really fun. I'm a huge fan of that film. Nostalgic movie for me. I really love it. Last F. I have run out of Fs, and it's a doozy. It is Fury of the Wolfman. Supposedly, Paul Naschy, the great El Hombre Lobo, he hated this movie because the director was an alcoholic, in his words, and it's a mess. This movie is a mess, but it is a glorious mess. It is hilarious. The dialogue is great. The dubbing is stupendously corny, and it's just such a disaster. They didn't have pickup shots. They couldn't afford to pay Paul Naschy to get in the werewolf gear and run down the street, so they got a much smaller man. As you may know, Paul Naschy used to be a bodybuilder, very big guy, so they got a skinny little, probably French guy in bad makeup to run down the street. It is terrible. But I highly recommend Fury of the Wolfman. Folks, we have finished another frickin' letter, and every time we finish a letter on this show, which is very rare because it takes me forever to get through a letter, we do what I like to call a box set special. And this is the most special box set that has ever existed. This is my Halloween 3 box set. Okay, it just says Halloween 3 on the front. It says Halloween over here. And then on the back, it's got some artwork from Halloween 2. If you guys have seen my Michael Myers movie-thon that I did a while back, I'll put a link here where I watched all of the Halloween movies up until Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because that was the most recent one at the time. I watched all of them in one day. And at the beginning of the video, I showed off my box set, which was a huge pile of DVDs and Blu-rays and a piece of paper where I wrote, it's supposed to say Scream Factory Halloween box set, but it sort of looks like Soram, Futhal, Halloween, Bax, Stoot. I don't know what that's supposed to say exactly. So what I did was, I got advanced and I bought, I think the show's called Cold Case or something. Anyway, it was a Blu-ray set for a TV show, and the person wasn't selling the actual discs, they were just selling the case. So I bought the case and I taped over all of the things that were related to that show, and then I threw away the cover, and now I just have all the Michael Myers movies in here. So you've got a mixture of DVDs and Blu-rays of all the movies. It's called #DIY Bother. So yeah, that's a box set. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I feel really lucky that you guys stick around here. If you're new to this channel, thank you. Please subscribe 5, 6, 7 times. Use all your dummy accounts if you have them. Take care of yourselves and the ones you care about. Feed your pets. Donate to charities. Plant a tree. Do some composting. Go to the dentist. Whatever you need to do, bro.